there we are. Do I have your attention yet? Yeah. Thank you very much. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for being here. If you're outside still straggling, it's time to come on in. Thank you. Welcome, welcome one and all to the NCRA's Best in Campus Community Radio, both broadcast and online awards gala here at the Isabel Bader Center for the Performing Arts. And what a place it is, really. Look at this one. Honestly, I live in Ottawa and the NAC could take some pointers from this place. We're really delighted to be here in Kingston to help CFRC celebrate what is the centennial year in broadcasting, as well as to celebrate the 40th annual NCRA radio conference, and congratulations for being part of this wonderful experience. So tonight we'll be presenting a number of different awards. Several people will be accepting here on person, on stage. There are people joining us on video, on screen, all sorts of different ways. Maybe by hologram, we're not sure yet. We'll also be enjoying a keynote conversation this evening with CFRC and Queen's University alumna, the one and only, put your hands together for Sheila Rogers. Before we start, though, it is truly important that we take a moment to acknowledge that this week's conference and tonight's festivities are celebrated on the traditional territories of the Anishinaabe and the Haudenosaunee peoples. On a personal level, I was struck tonight as I was looking out at the water that we were sitting next to for dinner. It's an exquisite view. I was thinking about a time when a friend of mine who spent many years serving in the Israeli army came to visit me on Georgian Bay. And we arrived at the cottage, and he sat on the dock with his feet in the water, and we all moved everything up to the house, and we couldn't find him. A little while later, I came back down. He was still sitting there, and he had tears streaming down his face. I mean, he was crying, and he was not just crying, but he was sobbing. And I sit down next to him, and we had a long conversation. And I said, Ari, well, what's. And he said, do you understand that I've killed people for water like this? Do you understand that most of the world does not have fresh water you can swim in, bathe in, and drink from the water? And it wasn't really until that moment that I recognized how important that was. And we owe the water of this country, and we owe the land of this country to the first peoples of this country. And that's why I personally feel invested in the land acknowledgement. So I wanted to take the time to acknowledge that. And with that, let's get on with tonight's ceremonies. To begin, we have, at the last minute, received this wonderful blessing that the local MP from Kingston Islands, Mark Gerritsen, has decided to join us. We're lucky because he's got an incredibly busy schedule, and they've only let MPs out of their homes recently. Didn't take long for Mark to get in trouble with the Russians. He won't be traveling there anytime soon, but he is here, and so let's put a warm welcome together for Mark Gerritsen.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and good evening, everybody. It is incredible to be here with you in person. I'm not going to lie to you. I think this is my first indoor event. It was very true what was just said. We've just been allowed out. This is my first indoor event since we've started to get back to some kind of normalcy, and it's absolutely incredible to be here with all of you in person. And I just want to start by congratulating I have to do this, our local Queen's University campus radio station, CFRC, on 100 years. Absolutely remarkable what CFRC has accomplished over the years. And I know, having been in politics for a number of years now, I've had the opportunity to go to the station and talk about a range of different issues. And I've never I've quite often been worried about what I was going to be talking about. Usually when CFRC calls up my office and says we'd like our member of parliament to come and talk to us, my first question is, what do they want to talk about? Because the interviewers always know their subject matter so well that I have to do a lot of research before I can go and participate with them. And so I've always been so impressed. And that leads me to, why it is so incredibly important that radio stations like CFRC and the 109 or so of you that are represented in this association, the incredible work that you do and how important it is that you continue to do that work. We live in a day and age where misinformation can fly around so incredibly quickly. And we know that we rely so heavily on the local radio stations, the people that are embedded right into our communities, to make sure that accurate information gets out there. And it's so incredibly important. Now more than ever, I would say the work that you do is so incredibly important for that cause. That's why the government, and I'm not here to sell you on anything because I know that your organization has already publicly supported Bill C-11, but Bill C-11 is a bill that's before the House of Commons right now, which is specifically targeted to provide funding for smaller news organizations so that they can compete against Facebook and Google and Twitter and the other media outlets that are delivering quite often a lot of media that actually is generated from organizations like yours, but making sure that you can continue to have the resources that you need to prosper and to survive and to keep doing the incredible work that you do. And so I'm very pleased that the government is moving along with this initiative because I think it's incredibly important. Thank you. The last thing that I'll say, because I know you have some awards to get to, is that I will say that I'm also very pleased to see the initiative that you have this year in particular, and I believe it's called Resonating Reconciliation. And by the way, that was a very, very good land acknowledgement. Like your story with the land acknowledgement there, it was so true, and it really resonates with our area here in Kingston and the Islands, and in Ontario and in Canada for that matter. But appreciating where we got what we have and where it came from, I think is so incredibly important. And Canada is an incredible country. I think we can all say that we live in the best country in the world. But unfortunately, we did some very serious injustices in the past in terms of what occurred with Indigenous peoples throughout our country in our history. And you're going to play an important role in correcting that. You're going to tell the stories of those Indigenous peoples so that our history doesn't start 150 years ago. It starts thousands of years ago. And I'm really looking forward to hearing and sharing some of the work that you do in telling those stories. You are absolutely instrumental in it, and I think that it is only the right thing to do in terms of our, one of the things to do in terms of our move towards reconciliation is that we appreciate that we're not just a country of English and French-speaking people. We are in a country that was founded by Indigenous people that have lived here for thousands of years, and making sure that their stories are told is so incredibly important. So good luck with this work. I know that you will do it great justice, and I look forward to seeing your work. So with that, thank you for allowing me to come and give you some greetings this evening. To those of you that are from out of town, welcome to Kingston. I hope you enjoy your stay here, and good luck to everybody tonight with the awards, and I wish you the best over the duration of your conference. Have a great evening. Pardon me? Who's your dad? Who's my dad? Oh, he's he's a former politician that... Is he a CFRC? Well, see, that's funny because I had some CFRC alumnus notes here, and I have Lauren Green and Gord Sinclair of the Tragically Hip. I had no idea that my father was, but he clearly wasn't good enough to make it onto the alumni notes that I have here. Have a great evening.
Mark Gerritsen, everyone. Well, that's quite the alumni list, and honestly, I never thought I'd hear "Who's Your Daddy" at this. Okay. So since this is an award show, informal or otherwise, a couple of housekeeping notes. It's my job. We would love for you to cheer for those people who win. Make lots of noise. It's lots of fun. There's going to be great music. Enjoy it. Enjoy it extremely. Enjoy it externally. Dance. Be merry. Have fun. Washrooms, just out in the hall. Best to wait while something is, well, we don't want them to go out while awards are happening. So go to the bathroom when you're, after you're dancing, when you're not. Go to the bathroom when you need. There will be an intermission for drinks at around 8 p.m. No drinks are permitted in the concert hall, so chug-a-lug. We are also live, never mind, live on YouTube and Facebook, so don't chug-a-lug. So, cheer loudly because there are folks watching us and we want to let them know just how fun it is and that they should be here next year. That's what I'm talking about. Woo! All right!
Yeah!
That's my crowd. Okay, this event could not be possible without the work of a number of people, including Elise Helder, her team at the Queen's University Event Services, Maggie Hunter, Aaron Holmberg, their teammates here at the Isabel, Dinah Jansen, her staff at CFR-CFM, of course, Barry Rook, Eloise Veliz, Luke Smith, who quit, but, did a lot of work, so. All right, I'm done. For now. So let's dive into presenting our first set of awards. With us tonight to present the awards are Barry Rook, Executive Director of the NCRA. And Dinah Jansen, Executive Director of CFRC. Over to you two.
Thank you so much, Alex. Thank you for emceeing. Sort of last minute, and it was hard to pull your arm to do that, I know.
Thank you.
This is my 6th show for the CRABO Awards. The last 2 hosted online, so a little different. So I'm a little nervous, but I'll get through it, I think. Your first?
Well, I've spoken in front of audiences before, but I find it really terrifying.
So keep the heckling light and polite. We have over 200 submissions for the awards this year, which is right around the lines that we normally have, and we have 30 awards to give out. So we're really looking forward to that. I'll hand it over to Dinah to say her introduction before we start giving out some awards.
All right, yes. Hello, everybody. I am Dinah Jansen, Executive Director of CFRC 101.9 FM, celebrating 100 years of broadcasting right here in Kingston from Queen's University. And my gosh, we are so thrilled that so many people came to Kingston and joined us here, and that so many people came in and joined us virtually all week long to take part in these wonderful conference panels and presentations that we've been engaged in all week. It's a pleasure and a privilege to host this conference and, of course, this glitzy event that we're all enjoying this evening and about to get started on more fully. And really just the perfect way to bookend a really great week. And yeah, I guess we have to get to the really fun part is with some of the recognition of the really exceptional programming that volunteers at campus and community radio stations across Canada are dedicated to producing each and every week. We have so many great winners to celebrate tonight, so please make sure you give the full applause when they're coming up on stage, and of course, some of the folks that will be joining us on video too.
So we have 10 in-person awards to give out in 3 sort of sessions. We've got 4 or 5 blocks of video awards in groups of 4 or 5. So why don't we start with our first award? So this is for Best Documentary, and the winner is Hina Imam from CITR. Congratulations. There we go. You can use there, or yeah, just say something. You can use mine too.
Okay, I haven't prepared anything. I'm just going to say thank you. This is amazing. And I just want to give a shout out to, so this programming we did at CITR last year for the Native Youth Program. Every year we partner with Museum of Anthropology at UBC, and 6 to 8 Indigenous high school students come, and we host workshops and teach them how to podcast, and it's amazing. We definitely learn so much more than I think we can teach them. But yeah, this is amazing. Thank you so much.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, and congratulations, Hina. Well done. And coming up next, we are so pleased to announce that this year's Volunteer of the Year Award goes to Emma Hones of CIVL FM in Abbotsford, BC. Yes, yes. Unfortunately, Emma was unable to join us today, but we have the amazing Erin Levy, Station Manager of Civil, or CIVL, coming to join us on stage to accept on her behalf. Congratulations, Emma.
Hello. Emma's here with us. Say hi, Emma.
Hello. I'm sorry, I suppose now is the moment. I'm humbled and honored to have been chosen as the NCRA Volunteer of the Year. I wish I'd been able to attend in person to express my gratitude to all of you, but I suppose this brief moment will have to do. Even though this award is recognizing me, I'd be the first to tell you that behind every success story is a team, and very little of what I've done would be possible without a circle to back me up. So I'd like to take a few moments just to thank the people who've truly made it possible for me to do what I've done for CIVL. It may sound corny, but I have to thank my mother. She's given me the peace of mind and security to be able to focus on doing this rather than just making sure that my own situation is sound. I'd also like to thank my network of friends for their support and their invaluable assistance when my own knowledge has fallen short, because I'm only human. There's many things I don't know. And last but not least, certainly not least, I'd like to thank Aaron, my manager, for his sound guidance and steady direction, because a ship can sail without her captain, but it isn't likely to get where it needs to go. In closing, I'd just like to say that I'm looking forward to continuing my work to help make CIVL the best voice it can be for our campus and our community. At the end of the day, as long as I can say that I've left the station in a better place than where it was when I found it, then I feel I've done good. And that's reward enough for me. Thank you.
Just shake your hand on behalf of Emma. Thank you so much. And back to you, Barry.
We'll keep going. We've got one more before our first artist break. As I mentioned, I am slightly nervous. So as a radio person, we're not used to seeing people in front of me. So if you don't mind, I'll do the next award facing that direction. And I'll break out my radio voice. The Game Changer Award goes to an individual who has changed the game over the last little while and has recently left the NCRA. Our Game Changer Award is Luke Smith.
Yeah! Get up here, Luke.
So for those that don't know, Luke Smith worked with the NCRA longer than I have, just over 7 years, and now has gone on to bigger pastures, that's for sure. So
Only about 28 days. It's not a huge lead. Wow. I mean, I'm not often lost for words, but this was a genuine surprise. So having had the real honor of working with the NCRA and all of these incredible stations, which is crystallized in the awards, and getting every year to see the excellence that you all bring to the table, always made the job worth it. So thank you all for empowering all of the folks that work with your stations and sharing that talent with us as well.
Congratulations, Luke. Yeah, he was one of the first people I met at the NCRA as well. Congratulations. And really, it's unfortunate he's not with the organization anymore, but he'll be well received at the station in Montreal. So, and as the former station manager of the other station, I shall not use those call letters. Yeah, Toronto, oh, same thing. All right, so up next we have a musical performance for your listening pleasure, performed by local musician Sadaf Amini. Sadaf started playing the santoor, that thing, from the age of 12 and continued to do so through her secondary and post-secondary education in Tehran, Iran. After immigrating to Canada, Sadaf completed a master's degree in music technology at the University of Toronto or Montreal. While participating in various ensemble concerts and festivals, and competitions, including the 2019 Emerging Musician Competition, held right here at the Isabel Bader Center for the Performing Arts, so she's quite used to this stage. We are delighted to welcome Sadaf to the stage right now, so please sit back and enjoy this performance.
So this piece that I'm going to play is called Rain, and it's a folklore song that I'm playing with my instrument, trying to resemble the raindrops with the repetitive hammers.
Wow. Thank you so much. That was just exquisite. Everybody, give her a round of applause. One more time. And please, during intermission, please do have a chat with Sada Famini, wonderful local musician. Learn about how maybe you can get a hold of some of your music and put it in your own hands and, of course, on your airwaves. And we certainly hope you have enjoyed her show, and we have so much more coming up. In our next segment here, we're actually pleased to announce a series of awards that are being accepted via video. And the first award that we're presenting here is in this round is the Best Pop or Similar Program. And then we'll have the Best in R&B Programming, followed by the Best Variety Program, and after that, the Best Folk Program. And I also think we are going to fit into the Best Current Affairs or Magazine Program. So we're going to have a few minutes of video time with some wonderful acceptance speeches by the winners who could not join us today. So please do hold your applause until after the video block. And yeah, we'll take it away. Thanks.
The CRABO winner for Music, Pop or Similar, CIVL, The Wheelbarrow.
Hello and good evening, everyone. I'm Dave Shaler from the Wheelbarrow Program. I wanted to say how happy and honored I am that the Wheelbarrow is getting recognized for this award. The Wheelbarrow has been highlighting independent bands from across Canada and around the globe for about 15 years, and 12 of those I've been the voice and the producer of the show. I can't, however, take credit for the vision and the passion that went into producing the show, and that was created by Greg Aiken, aka Carl Spackler. Now, he had an uncanny ability to find unusual music in interesting places and bring it to the airwaves of Civil FM. Unfortunately, Greg lost a brief battle to cancer earlier this year, and the show hasn't been the same without him. But I know that he'd be ecstatic and very happy in receiving this award, so I graciously accept the award for him. I thank you. I thank everyone that's involved, and I hope everybody is celebrating tonight. I'll celebrate with you from afar, and keep up the good work. Thank you.
The CRABO winner for Music, R&B, or Similar, CJLO, Purple Hour, Episode 2. We have a name.
Hi, my name is Megan Hams. I'm the host of Purple Hour on CJLO 1690 AM in Montreal. Thank you so much for this award. It means a lot. Thank you just as an organization for taking the time to recognize community radio. And then also I know that R&B is a new category for you. So thank you so much for, splitting that into its own category and taking time to recognize this genre of music. Throughout having this show, every episode I put together, I just realized how much talent we have here in Canada in that genre. So honestly, I just feel honored to be able to give them a platform and help, get their music and their names out there. I also want to say thank you so much to CJLO. Ever since I started this show with them, they've just been so kind and supportive and generous with everything. So I want to say thank you so much for them and for giving me a platform to have my show on. And yeah, thank you to the NCRA for this award. It means a lot, not only to me, but to, artists that I feature on my show and just to R&B artists, particularly independent R&B artists. It means a lot. So thank you so much.
The CRABO winner for Music, Variety Program is CJLY, Brother Michael's Flashback the 70s.
This is very exciting. Thanks to the National Campus and Community Radio Association for this recognition. I'm very grateful to the staff and volunteers at Kootenai Co-op Radio in the Nelson, BC area. Gratitude going out to the regular listeners who value independent, community-based radio, and in my case, very groovy music. And to all other radio programmers who keep the magic alive.
The CRABO winner, Music, Folk, or Similar, goes to CKDU, Touchstone.
I'm Bev Lamb, and I've hosted a folk roots radio show on CKDU FM in Halifax since 1985. I guess that's 37 years in July. It's called Touchstone. Many thanks to the NCRA for the Folk Award. I'm not sure what was said about me to get it. I probably do what most folk show hosts do. Have guests on, do features, play new releases, say who's playing in town, that kind of thing. Well, because I started in radio when I was 40, this means I don't have the mind of a youngster, as I'm in my 70s now, but I've heard and seen some great folk and roots music over the years, and I've had guests on my show from every province, and the Yukon too. I came to Canada from England when I was 21. I've lived in Toronto, Ottawa, the Laurentians, and Montreal before coming to Halifax in 1978. I'm not a musician. I don't make any money from the music business. I'm just a folk and roots fan who loves to share music on the airwaves on campus community radio at Dalhousie University. Thank you very much once again, NCRA, for the Folk Award.
The CRABO winner for Current Affairs of Magazine is CJSR White Supremacy.
Accepted by Barry Rook of the NCRA on behalf of Luis Carlos. Firstly, I'd like to thank all of those involved in deciding the nominations and award winners, as well as those involved in the execution of tonight's ceremony. Secondly, I thank the community around the only feminist show in Edmonton, where we draw inspiration to cover news and current topics. I dedicate all of this to the members of our crew, Wen Chen, Michelle, Rose-Eva, and Autumn, for their valuable time and expertise in making this production. Thanks.
Accepted by Dinah Jansen on behalf of Rose-Eva of CJSR. Thank you so much on behalf of the Adam and Eve team. We're so happy to be supported by CJSR and to be able to continue doing this amazing work. Thank you so much to the NCRA for this award.
Congratulations to each and every one of those winners and to each of you. I mean, you know, it's just wonderful to recognize exceptional talent, but I mean, I've come to know so many of you over the last few days, and I think you all deserve, each of you deserve an award. This is the time of the show where we move to a conversation between CBC Radio's Sheila Rogers and CFRC FM's Executive Director Dinah Jansen. Now, let's talk about Sheila for just a moment. This is one of those voices who every Canadian could be standing in an elevator and hear the voice behind them and know exactly who is speaking. Sheila's voice has been one that Canadians from coast to coast have come to know, love, trust, and enjoy on a very, very regular basis. But she didn't start on the CBC. No. She started right here at CFRC FM while she was a student at Queen's in the mid-70s. And if you had a chance to pop by the archival booth recently, you might have seen a photograph. It's a good one. It's a great photo. She went on first to local broadcaster CKWS before joining CBC Ottawa in 1980. There are a lot of accolades here for her work at the CBC, but I'm going to skip them because there are a lot. And you know she's done so much at the CBC between CBC Ottawa, everything leading up to the next chapter, which we all listen to regularly now. Just remarkable. But more than that, she has been honored with numerous accolades, including a number of honorary doctorates. Sheila was named an Officer of the Order of Canada in 2011. She was inducted as an honorary witness for the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada, and this May, she was awarded the Simons Medal in recognition of her advocacy work for adult literacy, her promotion of truth, reconciliation with Indigenous peoples, and fighting against the stigma of mental illness through sharing her own story. This is what Sheila is about. She cares about this country in a very profound way. She will be joined tonight on stage by Dinah Jansen, who is the Executive Director of the CFRC, who listened to CFRC while attending KCVI. I went to the station today at KCVI High School in the early 90s, only a few blocks from here. She later started at the CFRC as an on-air volunteer during her undergraduate degree at Queen's, and she kind of liked it. She stayed on through her doctorate, eventually becoming station manager in 2017 and more recently executive director. She will guide this keynote conversation about Sheila's time at the CFRC and how Sheila's experience propelled her career forward, and her thoughts on the power of student and community and volunteer-driven radio in Canadian culture. So, let's put a warm welcome together for Dinah and for Sheila.
How you doing over there?
You feel a long way away.
Should we scooch?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. This isn't very demure, is it? I'm sorry, wearing a skirt.
There we go.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Diane.
Hi. Oh, wow. What an extraordinary time. And Sheila, we've had so many conversations over the last few days, and I'm so glad that you were able to meet so many wonderful radio folks from around the country. And please do check in with Sheila during the intermission if you haven't had a chance to say hi. So thank you for returning to Kingston and to Queens and, of course, beloved CFRC, your old stomping grounds. So as our attendees are aware, CFRC is celebrating our centennial, and you are one of many alumni who have produced outstanding, innovative spoken word and musical programming on our airwaves, as many volunteers have for the last 100 years. I'd really love to talk to you, Sheila, and it's so weird for me to be interviewing Sheila Rogers. It's so wonderful, though. But thank you so much. I'd love to hear about your earliest experiences with campus radio and really the story of how you managed to walk through the front door of Carruthers Hall and find yourself on our airwaves. Let's hear about that.
Thank you, Dinah, and thank you, everybody. And I've really enjoyed the purveyors of campus and community radio that I've met over the last couple of days. It's been a real honor. And I know I'm starting with last night, when I should be starting with like 46 years ago. But I actually went home and just felt moved to cry, because the future is in brilliant hands, wonderful minds, and compassionate hearts. And it just felt really, really good. What led me through the door was that I heard an announcer, as we were called then. We weren't called hosts. And this was a woman who was reading the back of a classical music record. So there was a lot of text, and I happened to have that album, and I was in my room in Victoria Hall on campus reading along with her. And she didn't miss a beat. She didn't ad-lib at all. And I thought, well, if that's all there is to it, I could do this. I could just go and read record jackets. So I went to the door of CFRC and rang the buzzer. And this really tall guy who looked a lot like Lurch from the Addams Family, his name was Ted Kennedy, different Ted Kennedy. And he invited me in, saying, "You really think you can do this?" And I said, "Yep." And he said, "You're going to need to be trained." And he trained me. And 3 weeks later, I was the classical music director. So it's that sort of thing can only happen at campus radio. They needed a classical music person. And I didn't really know very much, but I could read.
Well, you can come and sort our classical music library if you want.
I probably left it in the mess that it's in.
It might still be in the same state as when you were here. So what was it like at the station? Can you set the scene for us? What did the station look like? A number of our visitors had the opportunity to drop in today. We have been in the location for about 70 years, I think, this year. What did it look like when you were in the 70s, and who was there, and what was on the air?
Well, classical music was big because it took up a lot of time, I think. But we had sports broadcasts, folk music. Not a lot of current affairs, but there was a little bit. There was jazz. And there was something that, at the time we were calling world music. And it was very lively, very active, Friday and Saturday nights, Thursday and Friday nights, Saturday and Sunday. That was what we were allowed to do. That's what we had for our license, and that's what we did. And walking in, it was just, it's a basement, and the cement blocks were painted baby blue, and it hasn't changed a whole lot. It has very much the same feeling of welcome, the same feeling of dust, and a lot of the things are in the same place. There's still those little red tapes around the discs that denote Canadian content, and I was a treasurer of the CFRC Radio Club. I was a really bad treasurer. I have numerological dyslexia, and I always had to put my own money in to kind of buttress up the money that was being lost by the radio station. So,
oh wow,
yeah. So I didn't go into that. But we did have some programming too from the university. In particular, I remember working on a program with Dr. F.R.C. Clark, who was known as CFRC Clark. And it was called the Music Department, and it was very pompous. And what we had to try to do was to sort of tickle Dr. Clark so that there would be a little bit of entertainment as well as the all brand that he was presenting. So.
Thanks so much. Now let's learn a little bit maybe about some of the equipment and some of the skills that you were learning at the same time. Clearly, you've also learned how to develop your voice, but what else were you doing, like in terms of actually producing your broadcasting? And how did you move that forward in terms of your own career path?
I like to talk about my voice, actually. People find it very soothing, so soothing it puts them to sleep. And I smoked to get this voice I did. And I don't smoke anymore. I quit when I was 27. But when I started at CKWS and then the CBC, I felt my voice was impossibly high because I was the only woman. And so I was smoking all the time, trying to lower it, And, but the skills that wasn't a skill I learned at CFRC.
Smoking.
Smoking. Yeah, operating as we called it, like being a DJ. It was so much fun having two turntables. And I never really had that experience again once I left once I left CKWS. But just the fun that you could have mixing and melting music together. And, I didn't know how to flip a switch. I learned how to turn the transmitter on and off, and I learned how to grilled cheese sandwiches on the transmitter as well. And there were all sorts of things.
I think that's the one we just replaced.
Yeah, it may well be. But I learned a lot about relating to the audience, and I think that, the program that Dave was talking about today, Dave Cunningham, Classics by Request, was a place where people would phone in or, let you know, sometimes mail in requests. And you develop a relationship with that person because you were actually doing something they wanted you to do. And I think what I learned then was that the relationship is not yourself and what you might be doing and how smart you think you might be, but it's with the listener, it's with the community. And this station and all community and campus stations are just so vital because they have freedom, because they have opportunity, because the doors are open to everybody. There's all of that possibility and hope.
And now, I understand, too, that CFRC also had a bit of an educational component back in the 70s as well. Did you participate in any of that?
No.
Well, okay.
No, there was really, Dr. Clark would have been it for me. Working with Dr. Clark as his producer, that was enough. And as far as education goes, though, I mean, it was up to you to find something interesting to say about what you were presenting or who you were talking to do the research. And the research meant libraries. It meant paper. It was real. It was just harder to do because you had to go somewhere to get it. And you'd learn a lot along the way.
Something to take for granted when research was still being done with those old card catalogs at the library.
Oh, yeah,
You didn't have the internet.
Yep, before digitization.
So Sheila, do you have a couple of anecdotes or favorite highlights of your time that you'd like to share?
At CFRC?
Yeah.
I guess my audition was kind of miraculous because everything happened during the audition. There was a guy, his name was Phil Brown, who was bouncing a basketball at the glass back and forth while I was trying to present Brahms' 80th Symphony. And the idea was you could not be distracted. So I was fine with that. Ted Kennedy came and just stood in front of me and watched as I was reading my script. Then someone tried to set my script on fire. And I made it through that too.
While it was in your hand?
These were the 70s. And you easily put it in a waste paper basket and it went out. I guess that was absolutely a highlight. Mm-hmm. My first time broadcasting at a hockey game as color commentator, I thought you just talked about color. Like, really? Yeah. So, yeah.
Look at those blue jerseys.
That's not really a highlight, I guess. But it was all really magic, just being able to, you didn't know anything about jazz. Go and pull some music and listen to it and experience it on behalf of the listener, and then go and share that with the listener. That doesn't get old, it really doesn't. And I still have many friends. I mean, that's a highlight too. I felt very lost at Queen's. I was on a floor, couldn't really develop friendships with people, and I was really shy. And when I came to Carruthers Hall, I found my people. Almost everyone had a pocket protector, and they were my people. I just felt so at home and very grateful.
That's wonderful. Thank you for that. Now, after being at the station and learning new things, developing your voice, getting the music out there, when did you land on the idea that you would move on to a career in broadcasting?
I didn't land on it. I was actually working with Dr. Clark, recording a show for him, and I got a call from the country station downtown, and it was the station manager at the time named Carl Kogan, and the record was coming to the end, the needle was coming up and it was going to stop, and I thought he was joking. He offered me a job as a country and western DJ, and I just hung up on him, and he called me back, which was awfully nice, but he got my name from Dave Cunningham, and August of 1976, I did my first country and western show. I knew nothing about country and western music, but I really love old country. I love the roots, and that was a lot of what I did then. There wasn't auto-tune at that point, so music was really nice and sort of pure sounding. And I also had to do a classical music show that same evening. So I'd do 2 hours of country, there'd be a syndicated tape, and then 2 hours of classical music. Then one night, the late night weatherman didn't show up, and the TV station was downstairs. So I was asked to put on a long record, go downstairs, and do the weather. And I was dressed for radio, plaid shirt, jeans, and I didn't know what an H was or an L, but I just sort of pasted them on the map, and 2 weeks later, I ended up being the weather person. But although they didn't call me a person then, it was the weather girl. Yeah, that was a lovely time.
Wow. Thank you. Wow.
Just, but I found I loved it. I was studying art history. I wanted to be an art conservationist. My goal was to work on the restoration of the Sistine Chapel. And really lofty. And literally and figuratively. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm here all week. But yeah, it was just so exciting to kind of do it for a living. Studies slid, and I did get a degree, though. I do have a BA. Yeah, I do. And but I was very fortunate to find my heart's desire. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so wonderful. Now, so after Kingston, where did you go next? Tell us a little bit about your career path and where you're at now.
I went to Ottawa, CBC Ottawa. Someone I worked with at CKWS, Brian Nordland, had just moved to Ottawa, and he said, there's an opening for a staff announcer for the serious music department. That was what it was called. And you should apply. And I thought, well, I don't know about that. I'm not that serious, but it was classical. And I did apply. And on my board was a minister, a former Anglican minister. And I just thought, they're really stacking this all against me. But it was a time of affirmative action for women. The CRTC wanted women on the air. It was kind of crazy. They took 2 months to make up their mind about me. When I was hired, I made $5,000 less than the male host who was hired at the same time, who had 3 years less experience. We fixed that. We fixed that very quickly, but, thank you. But it just didn't seem fair. I did start in music, and I had to be trained to sound like I didn't have an Ottawa Valley accent, and like ladder and car and all that stuff, and that's how I spoke. So I ended up sounding a lot like, have you seen James Bond, Miss Moneypenny? Very clipped, almost British accent, and a pickle somewhere in my body. So after Mostly Music was the title, which I called Mostly Mucus once. That was also a big hit. I went into current affairs because I really loved interviewing. And I had done a current affairs program at CKWS for 2 years on television, which I hosted, researched, and produced. And at the CBC, you could only be a host. You couldn't be a researcher and a producer. It was very different then. Wow. Now you can. Now you can be, there are more choices, let's put it that way. I won't go through everything, but my favorite thing is to do interviews. It really is. And I think always being aware that you're talking to one listener, not many listeners. When you establish that it's the second person singular, you've got kind of a shorthand to an intimacy with the listener. So yeah, that's helped a lot.
That's really great advice for everybody here today. Thank you so much. Now, before we wrap up our time together here, what are your thoughts, Sheila, on the power of campus and community radio, the whole sector, in not only our society, but the culture itself?
I think it's more important than ever. I think the media landscape is so splintered right now. There's so much of the same news that we're getting all the time through syndication. The news choices that are being made. Someone mentioned "and finally" in one of the sessions today, that you put a kicker at the end. It's kind of like you want to leave people feeling really good about the bad news. And I think representing a community, coming from a community and broadcasting to that community means you're on the ground. You know what's going on, and you have a built-in respect for the community, and you want to make sure you're representing the concerns of the community. And the freedom that you have at campus and community radio can't be found anywhere else. And it really, I think it means you can really get things done. Again, Dave Cunningham in his history of CFRC mentioned that since 1994, Aboriginal voices have been on the air. And that's not true at the CBC. There was Our Home and Native Land, or Our Native Land, and then I did a series called Our Home and Native Land. But they were 20 years apart. So there was a long time when those voices weren't being heard. And I think that's what's so beautiful about campus and community radio. All voices can be heard. All voices are welcome. All voices are in the spotlight. And I think that's what's so vital about it and why it's always going to be strong.
Thank you so much. Do you have any words of wisdom or messages that you'd like to share with our audience today?
I guess I just want to say thank you to all of you who are, I mean, I get paid for what I'm doing. I know you do too. Not everybody does, though. And as a volunteer, I think that the hours that you put into it, the heart that you put into it, has to be so valued and is valued by your communities. So thank you for what you do. Thank you for who you represent, who you speak for. You're really making this country interesting. I'm not sure if it's the best country in the world. The more I know about Canada, the less I feel that way. But it can be if we hear the voices and respect them. So I want to say thank you. And thanks to you, Dinah. Thank you for interviewing me. It's a nerve-wracking experience to be interviewed, and it's probably good medicine for me. So, but please, let's thank Dinah for everything she does, right? Yes, Dinah Johnson.
Well, thank you. Oh my.
Have fun. I forgot to say, have fun. That's really.
Well, everybody, let's give a big round of applause for Sheila Rogers. Yes, so Sheila, thank you very much for joining us here, flying all the way in yesterday and joining us right here in Kingston, coming back to the old stomping grounds at CFRC, doing another interview today with our local journalism initiative.
Who was
reporter.
Fantastic, Kareem. He's amazing.
Yes, indeed. So, yes, thank you very much. It's such a pleasure to call you a member of the CFRC family and welcome you back home.
It's my honor. Thank you.
So, just a quick note from the legal department. Don't burn scripts. And formally and officially, the CRA, under no circumstances, unequivocally does not endorse smoking for any purposes, certainly not for improving your voice. We're going to take a brief break. There's a bar out there. Bartenders, if you're listening, warm up. We will take a break until about 8:25, at which point I will become very annoying and obnoxious and making sure you come back in for the rest of the show. Enjoy a couple of drinks and have fun. Back in? Yeah, that's you. I'm looking at you with the phone. Yeah, you. Time to come on back. Yeah. Show's starting. All right, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. Many of you got to take in a beautiful sunset. I continue to think about the exquisite nature of this hall. And when we were watching a musician earlier, he had the overhead shot up here of her hands. And it's an angle that I don't think I was ready to be able to see. It was quite exquisite. Before we move on, I'll just take a moment to thank the technicians and the crew who are here. Alan, Connor, Dylan, Aaron, thank you guys. You're doing a great job. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Without further ado, here's Barry.
So we'll jump back into the awards. We're a few minutes behind, but we caught up a little bit there because you were good at coming back to your seats. So gold stars for everyone. Not planning to become a teacher or anything like that for that sort of side of things. So we got video awards, in-person awards, video awards, and then the first set from Savannah to go. So if the groups in the back are ready to roll our next set, we're looking at community engagement, syndicated shows, sports broadcasting, rock music, and our breaking barriers in student programming. So back to the CRABOs.
The CRABO winner for community engagement is CKHA, Radio Playhouse.
Wow, my love, we certainly didn't anticipate anything like this. My name is Rita Jackson, and together with my husband, John,
hi,
we've been responsible for coordinating and helping produce Canoe FM's Radio Playhouse.
Well, actually, Rita has been the driving force in turning this pet project of ours into a reality. The idea was very simply to reintroduce theatre to radio, hence our tagline of theatre for the ears.
We just wanted a way to be able to engage people with the thrill of theatre, and fearing that with small groups especially, the pandemic might make it a lost art.
We were thrilled when our station manager here at CKHA, Roxanne, said she wanted to put our show forward for this award. And then to win, and a national award, wow, that really is a wonderful honour. Thank you, all of you out there who have been and continue to be involved in making our show a reality.
And of course, we want to thank the NCRA. We are so pleased and proud to accept this award, not just for ourselves, but on behalf of our lovely community radio station, Canoe FM.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The CRABO winner for the syndicated show goes to CFRO URP Show 1020 Black History Month.
Yes, DJ Denise here at Urban Renewal Project at URP Radio on Instagram. Go follow us. We've got a Spotify. We are accepting the award for 2022 syndicated show. We officially were syndicated at the University of Manitoba, UMFM. Big shout out to our supporters. Jared reached out to me on Instagram and asked if I wanted to put my show on his radio station. He's the program manager over there. We're in Vancouver, British Columbia. I've been podcasting throughout the pandemic. Urban Renewal Project has been my baby since 2012. During the pandemic, I've been sitting at home, recording this show, reaching out to artists all across Canada to speak about their music. You should check out our platform, URP Radio. We are on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Music. You name it, we got it. Go follow us. Thank you very much for this award. 2020, we love you.
The CRABO winner for the Excellence in Sport Programming in CJSR 2021 Alberta Indigenous Games.
Hello, my name is Artemis Peasley, and I'm accepting this award on behalf of Shane Giles and Achimwin from CJSR 88.5 FM in Edmonton. Shane had me say, this award is an incredibly humbling thing to receive, and it's always fantastic to see recognition for Indigenous people in sports and in radio. Highlighting local athletes and sports tournaments helps to bring attention to talented youth and provide opportunities to learn more about fantastic local events. Shane would also like to thank the City of Edmonton, CJSR in the U of A, and the Alberta Indigenous Games. My name is Artemis Peasley, and I am very happy to accept this award on behalf of Shane Giles and Achimwin. Thank you very much.
The CRABO winner for music, rock, or similar goes to CKXU, Speeding Ticket.
Thank you to the NCRA for this award. Thanks to my parents for all their support, and also to anyone who's tuned in over the years. It's been so fun and rewarding to volunteer at the station and make this show. Alongside playing my favorite songs, I've discovered so much great underground music I would have never heard otherwise. So big thank you to the amazing team over at CKXU 88.3 FM. Mike, Di, Adriana, Jenna, Matthew, Courtney. They're all truly incredible human beings who have worked so hard to create such a special and accepting community here in Lethbridge. Thank you.
The CRABO winner for Breaking Barriers is CITR, Blind New World. The CRABO winner for Excellence in Student Programming goes to CITR, Dion Feng.
Both awards accepted by Barry Rook of the NCRA on behalf of Dion Fang. Thank you to everyone who supports community radio, especially to my program major Jasper and all of my interviewees. Thank you for providing me the opportunity to broadcast esoterica into the radio ether.
And welcome back to the live portion of our programming today. So congratulations to all of those winners who accepted via video. Coming up next, I am very, very pleased to present the award for Best Alternative or Similar Music Program to Paul Sneps of CJPE-FM right here in the area in Picton, our good friends at County FM. Paul, please join us on the stage.
Well, this is really cool. You know, in Canada, we have this really bad habit of really not thinking very much of the awards that we give one another. And I think that's a bad habit. I think we should really celebrate each other a lot more. So thank you so much for this. I want to thank my radio station, the good people at 99.3 County FM, the voice of the county, for the cool opportunity that emerged there from creating a brand new community radio station from ground up. And in particular to Peter Fleming and to JJ Johnson, who kind of dragged me kicking and screaming to put a show on in the first place. I started doing campus radio way back in the 1990s at CITR at UBC. I know there's a couple of you here. And so my radio show celebrates alternative pop and Canadian indie. And to my little indie nerd self back there at CITR, deep in the shadow of Nardwuar, the human serviette, I want to say, you did it, buddy. It took you 25 years, but you did it. Good job. And I have one final request. This is on behalf of my station manager. He asked that I take a selfie. So I would love to ask all of you if you'd participate. Is that cool?
Here, I'll take it for you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Here, let me fire this up. I'm going to do this because he said selfie. Okay.
Don't fall off the stage.
Look really big. Sexy. Thank you so much.
This way, Paul.
Congratulations, Paul. Once again, well done. Thank you so much. CJPE, a station, as he said, just got started a little while ago. And if I recall correctly, around 300 volunteers within the first couple of years. So very, very dedicated just down the way in Prince Edward County. We'll continue on with our awards for Women's Hands and Voices category. The winner is Melanie Lum, CFUV. So I believe, Arcade, are you on? Excellent. Come on up.
Thank you. Wow, okay. Sorry, I'm short. Wow, well, I'd not only like to thank Melanie for her incredible work at CFUV. There's too much she does for the station that I can name. From podcasts to her weekly show to every other thing, including pulling my sweaty behind out of a dinosaur costume in Pride. But also, I not only wanted to thank her, but the incredible people she showcased in the podcast, which were Mama Rude Gal, T. Fanny, Miss Benzo, Whirlybird, and Pega. And I'm going to deliver a message from Melanie herself. I am honored to receive this award and have the voices of women in the Canadian hip-hop industry acknowledged. I hope that the music industry can evolve into normalizing the hands and voices of women instead of silencing them. Representation matters, and there's a lot of work to do. Thank you so much. That one?
Amazing. Congratulations. And now the next award I'm particularly pleased to present as well. This one is for a person who is in fact a former CFRCer, whose sister was a former CFRCer, and whose dad was also involved with CFRC. This award is going for the Best in Podcasting to Quinton Bradshaw of CJRW-FM for the Story Planet podcast. Quinton, please join us on stage.
Hi, this is so cool. I'm so flattered. Yeah, thank you to CJRU, my station, and everyone who I work with there. And also, I just mostly want to give a big thank you and a lot of credit to the team at Story Planet. They're so cool. They've been so wonderful to work with. Story Planet is a literacy organization. They run workshops for youth and storytelling, primarily in under-resourced schools in Toronto. And when I reached out to them about doing an audio project, they were so on board right from the start, and have been so fantastic about having the kids so involved. And it's been such a delight to work with these very smart and cool and funny kids. The show is all their stories, and it's hosted by kids, so shout out to Ali and Artika as well, our hosts. Yeah, it's just been such a privilege and such a blast to work on the show. So, and as we say in the credits, thank you to the Community Radio Fund of Canada for providing the support for this show financially. Cool, yeah, that's all. Thanks, everybody.
I got my high five. I'm happy. So we've got another block of awards to give out. Before we do so, I want to thank our voiceover first-timer doing it, Eloisa. So thank you. So now you're officially fully embedded in radio. So that's great. Our next block of 5, rap out loud, local talent, blues, and country. Go ahead.
The CRABO Award winner for music, rap, or similar goes to CKXU, After the Smoke is Clear.
Hey, so first off, thanks so much to the NCRA for recognizing the work that I put in making After the Smoke is Clear into a place where independent artists are getting their music shared with more listeners. So big ups to the NCRA for helping to get the show to more ears. Huge shout out to CKXU and everybody over there, volunteers as well as, program director, everybody behind the CKXU flag. You've been huge. Thanks for giving me a platform to stand on while I do this show. And big thanks to my wife. I wouldn't be able to put the time in that I do if it wasn't for her. So After the Smoke is Clear wouldn't be what it was without her. She's also the voice of AtSick. The sample drop with the AtSick radio is her. So big ups. Thanks, everybody. And season 3 is just getting better. We're doing interviews now. After the Smoke is Clear is still right here.
The CRABO winner for local talent development is CJLY, responding to COVID.
Local talent development is one of our main focuses at CJLY in Nelson. In the past year, we showcased over 60 artists playing live in our studio, over 24 shows as a part of our KCR Live music series. Juno nominees got the same treatment and exposure as college and high school music students. It was at the heart of the project to present different languages, different genres, and different experiences. From folk and jazz to hardcore punk and doom metal with storytelling in between. We live in a remote but diverse region that attracts and produces many talented artists. We try to represent as many points of view as we could. We stress inclusivity and provided a safe, welcoming space for artists. Member-owned and operated Kootenay Co-op Radio has been serving the West Kootenays since 1999. Nous sommes très reconnaissants pour le soutien continu de l'ANREC. We really appreciate this award today.
The CRABO winner for music, blues, or similar is CKHA, the Buckslide Blues Cruise.
This is Patrick Monahan from the Buckslide Blues Cruise on CKHA 100.9 Canoe FM, Haliburton, Ontario. Tuesday nights, this program is my purpose in life. I have had some medical issues. However, the Buckslide Blues Cruise has lifted me beyond these issues. For 2 hours a week, I'm not sick. I could not have continued without the help of many others. Much thanks to the NCRA and its judges for choosing the Buckslide Blues Cruise to win this prestigious award. It's great to have one's efforts appreciated. From Canoe FM, I would like to thank Roxanne Casey, station manager, for giving me the opportunity to host a blues program. Also Ron Murphy, station productions manager, for bailing me out on numerous occasions. And much thanks to Dave Kirkland for mentoring me in the early days. Without his help, I would still be struggling. The opportunity to produce his show enhanced my skills tremendously. Mostly, I wish to thank all of the listeners of the Buckslide Blues Cruise for tuning in on a regular basis. Without listeners, there would be no show. Thanks to all, including some that I may have failed to mention. Patrick Monahan.
The CRABO winner for music, country, or similar goes to CIVL, Andy Sadek.
Accepted by Barry Rook of the NCRA on behalf of Andy Groberg. I humbly thank you for this recognition. I have been involved with community radio since 1989. My first radio show was at CJSF. The call letters were CJIV back then, and since then, I've hosted at CITR and now CIVL. My contribution is being a radio host, but the people that really make this thing tick should be the ones recognized. The program directors, music directors, station managers, and especially the volunteers are the ones that make the whole thing keep chugging along. I really want to thank CIVL for allowing me to keep my show going after moving away from BC to Ontario in 2018. I really thought my days of Andy's Attic were coming to an end. Special thanks to Aaron Levy for always being so supportive.
All right. Okay, next, it's music. We are pleased to welcome local artist Savannah Shea and her band to the stage for the first of 2 sets this evening. Well known in the region for her powerful voice, songwriting, the multi-instrumentalist Savannah Shea's music ranges from jazz, folk to soul, R&B. After winning the YGK Emerging Musician Competition here at the Isabel in 2019, Savannah has since completed a degree in music at Humber College, released a couple of EPs, and continues to teach music and perform in numerous shows and festivals all around the area. By the way, you can find all of her music on Bandcamp. Head there, download. So I'm not going to talk anymore. Let's welcome Savannah Shea.
Winter magnolia, ahead of its time, fooled by the sunshine, destined to die. As with everything, a trick of the light in January. She lies fast asleep at the mercy of rain, and 2 early birds start is fixated on controlling what is powerful, too fearful to be equal to the hand that gave it life. A planet made of miracles is broken into pieces, sold, stolen from the ones who know the land is on our side. A planet made of miracles, controlling what is powerful, too fearful to be equal to the hand that gave it life. A planet made of miracles is broken into pieces, sold, stolen from the ones who know the land is on our child of the sunshine with light in her eyes, and she's trusting a heart that's been broken into. What have we done to you? Holy in the beginning, we are burning down her intuition.
Thank you very much. That's Michael Broadhead playing some beautiful bass over there. That song is called Winter Magnolia. It's the title track off my most recent EP. Yeah, it's really lovely to be here with you all. I'm super grateful. We got a lot of music we want to share, so we're just going to kind of go through it. I won't talk as much as I normally would. This is a song about how sometimes love and timing don't go together very well. It's called Imperfect. Patient as the afterglow,
telling you I loved you fast, because I did, of that I'm sure. I am imperfect and you are imperfect, but I thought you were perfect and you thought I was too. Time is imperfect and you don't deserve that. I didn't know I still had growing to do. Love is imperfect, but loving is worth it. I don't want perfect, I'd rather have truth. The truth is imperfect, and you do deserve that. I didn't know I still had growing to do. This next part repeats a bunch if you want to sing along. I know you all have beautiful voices. You're radio people. I was afraid that I'd let you down, and you were afraid that I'd let you down too. Fear almost stopped us from loving completely. I'm so glad that it didn't. I'm so glad that I got to love you.
Thank you. This is Ellen Torres singing background vocals right here. I'm going to slowly introduce the band. Everyone's so cool. This next song it's just a straight up breakup song. And I'm sure before I ever had a breakup, I wrote a bunch of breakup songs about quitting my job. So even if you've never been through a breakup, I'm sure you can relate in some way. Yeah, the song is called Leather Heart. Ooh, that's a spicy chord. That's not the right one, though.
Another letter I won't send. Some are angrier than others, each one wishing you were here and knowing that you couldn't be. Do you talk about me now the way you talk to me about her? Most days I'm hoping that you do, and most days I am missing you. The way you told me I was broken, different versions lost and floating. Find me here, I'm in my loving and my leaving equally. And I leather heart, and I learned to love myself from you after I tore us apart. Heartbreak of control. It's fast and strong, it never slows. Around every corner, I don't know, I'm holding on to what's come and gone. And I want to be the me I am alone when I'm with someone else. And I want that someone to be you. I wanna be all by myself. I want to be the me I am alone when I'm with someone else. I want that someone to be you. I want to be all by myself. Thank you. This is Michael McKittrick on the piano. Yeah, give it up. There's some art behind me.
It's Savannah's art.
These are my paintings. They're all a version of this place, that's sort of Georgian Bay-esque, Group of Seven-esque. And I've been painting it for a very long time, and I didn't know exactly what it was. And then I had a crazy massage, and I went to this place in my brain. This is, yeah. And it's a place I go in my head that feels very safe. And there's an old, wise woman and a young child version of myself, and we all hang out together and hold each other when I'm sad. And that's what this song is about. It's called Stand in the Light. We safe from the past and what's to come, rooted in love, the fight is won. I am the child, I am the stone. I've seen this place, and it's called me home. There is a tree that grows inside with perfect ease, though you may try to turn the storm or change the tide. If you fall into love, it will survive. She's younger than I've ever been. She's wise as the mountain stream that travels far to meet the sea, and learns that following the riverbed will set you free, will set you free.
Thank you so much. We will be back with more music in a little bit. I think I'm handing the mic back over, but we'll see you soon. Thank you.
And everyone, one more time. You have another set, right? You're coming back for another set? Awesome.
We're coming back.
Excellent.
See you later.
That's what happens when you walk into the crowd, right? As we move forward, I will get up at some point. As we move forward, I have to ask a couple people to stand up as well and be acknowledged, the board of directors for the National Campus Community Radio Association. So if we can have those that are here, Anna Rose, Tyra, Emily, Malik, Mark, Tina, Glenn, Cassidy, and President Randy Reed. Thank you very much. So we'll continue on with the awards. Our next block of 5 is up on video in just a moment, and we'll start with the electronic award, one that I applied for many, many times and haven't won, so I'm a little jealous. Go ahead and roll it.
The Gala winner for music, electronic, or similar is CJSW, A Quiet Life.
Accepted by Dinah Jansen on behalf of Marta Ligotsky of CJSW. When the pandemic started, my radio show became an audio oasis for listeners to escape to each week. Being able to share my love of ambient, neoclassical, and electronic music alongside philosophic meditations became a real oasis for me, as well as a way to connect to the community I missed so much. It means more than I can say to have A Quiet Light be recognized by the National Campus and Community Radio Association. Thank you.
The CRABO winner for the Nesky Manual Award for Indigenous Programming is CJSR, moving
Thank
radio.
you so much for this award for Jima Bitson, The Meaning of Empathy, a piece I did with the director, Elimea Tailfeathers. It was an honor to talk to her. She's a fantastic director. It's an excellent film, so you should check it out if you can. Thank you to the NCRA for this honor, but really, I feel like it's Elimea's awards, and she did all the talking, and I just did the interviewing. Also, CGSR, Megan Miller, I'd like to thank, our news director, Chad Burnett, also Melanie Zaidstoff, and also from the NFB, Katja Bach, who hooked me up with this interview. And thanks, because we try to do our best to cover as much diversity in film as possible. So we appreciate the acknowledgement. Jima Bitsin means giving kindness to each other, so I respectfully thank you for this kindness.
The CRABO winner for music, punk, or similar, CJSR, History of Punk, Woman of Hardcore.
Wow, well, this is absolutely incredible. 15-year-old me would have never expected that she would get any sort of recognition for doing punk content for a little old community radio station called CJSR. So thank you for filling that void in my soul. I grew up in a really, really small town, and we didn't have a music scene. I was definitely the only kid with a mohawk in grade 8, and I always dreamed of sharing my love of punk and hardcore with the world. So thank you for this, and thank you, Rylan, my incredible friend and co-host, who I do History of Punk with. He literally found me on the street about 6 years ago and asked me to be his co-host. So thank you, Rylan, and also shout out to everyone at CGSR for just keeping the wheels turning over the last few years. You're truly the real heroes. So thanks, everyone. Thanks for this amazing award. Have a great night. Thanks.
The CRABO winner for news in CJSR. Can I get a GSA with that?
Hello, my name is Artemis Peasley, and I'll be accepting this award on behalf of the Gay Wire crew. I think that our show winning awards outside of the LGBTQ+ award is extremely promising, and has me excited to see that the only queer radio show in Alberta can be recognized for the journalistic talent that we have on the program. Thank you to NCRA for the award. Thank you to Shane Giles for guiding us and making the winning episode. Thank you, Terrence Adams, for being so dedicated. Thank you, João Victor Krieger, for always being able to produce and edit. Thank you, Ash Walinda, for sticking around after I forced you to join. And thank you to our new members, Liv and Afia. Thank you, of course, to Chris Chang-Yen Phillips, Megan Miller, and everyone at CGSR, and everyone we've spoken to. Here's to all the queers out there. We can do anything we put our minds to.
The CRABO winner for music, jazz, or similar is CKDU, The Swing Arrangement.
Hello from Halifax. My name is Charles Schwinn, and I am the host of The Swing Arrangement on CKDU 88.1 FM. And it is a distinct honor to accept this award from the NCRA. I want to thank the NCRA for this award, as well as the staff, the board, and especially the listeners who have stuck with me for the last 20 years of CKDU. I came to Halifax 20 years ago to find a place to be able to play my music and to do the radio show that I absolutely, truly love. I want to thank each and every one of you, and I can only wish that I was there in Kingston, Ontario to accept this award in person. As I always end my radio show of every episode, thank you for letting me broadcast for you. Good night.
And congratulations to each of those winners. And coming up next, I'm so pleased to present the award for the Best Metal or Similar program to Ethan Anderson of CKDU in Halifax for their program, Drag the Waters. Ethan, come up to the stage, please.
Now, I have too many individual people to thank. They'll have to wait for Facebook posts later. And before I begin, I'd like to acknowledge that CKDU sits on the unceded Mi'kmaq territory of Kipukjuk. I hope I said that right. I'd like to thank CKDU for being my home for the past 9 years, giving me a platform to promote local musicians, the future of our art. My thanks also goes to the NCRA for recognizing my and CKDU contributions to Canadian campus and community radio. I am unfathomably proud and eternally grateful to have been Halifax's home for the hard and the heavy for this long, and I don't plan on quitting anytime soon. All right, you guys up for some audience participation? All right, so I have a mantra that I live by: peace, love, heavy metal. So I'm gonna say peace, then love, then heavy metal, and you shout it back to me, got ya? All right. Peace! Peace! Love! Love! Heavy metal! Heavy metal! Thank you.
Congratulations, Ethan. We'll continue on. Our next award is for third language programming. It goes to Teofi Berleren, Radio Filipino, CJSW. I'll get you the award in a second. Left it over there.
No worries, no worries. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is really exciting. Tofi has been a volunteer with CJSW for a very long time. She's been hosting a Filipino program called Radio Filipino for years. And I think the best way I can describe the program is that Tofi is like a mother to the community within Calgary. She goes on air every week. She talks about community events. She like shouts out people's birthdays. She's just the best. It's truly like a wonderful thing to hear. Her spirit and energy is amazing to hear both on air and off air. She also presents herself as a mother to the station. And I'm so glad that she's able to win this third language program award. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And don't go away. We also have the winner for Out Loud, Best in LGBT2 Programming, also goes to CJSW. And Them Fatale, Blake McLeod.
Again, thank you so much. Blake McLeod is a Indigenous non-binary programmer at CJSW. They came to the station as our graphic designer one summer, and immediately I saw how passionate they were about queer issues, about representing systematically oppressed groups, and I was like, this person needs to have a show on CJSW, and they came up with this like brilliant idea of a program called Them Fatale, where they interview different people who are pioneering initiatives within the Calgary community that support BIPOC, Indigenous, queer communities, youth communities, and uplifts them. And I'm really, really proud of them. I'm really excited that they won this award. I'm so blessed to be able to call them a friend. So thank you so much to the NCRA for both of these awards. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Congratulations, Tofi and Blake. And coming up next, I'm so pleased again to present another fun award, this time for the Best in Creative Production Award, which is going to Pamela Hassan of CICK FM in Smithers for the program I Digress. Pamela's award is being accepted by Glenn Ingram of CICK, who is with us here today. Glenn, please join us on the stage.
Pam would be so excited. We stole her from London, Ontario, a CHRW, and she's getting married to our director at CICK. They met at the Fredericton conference 5 years ago, and I think she wouldn't have gotten this if she didn't move to Smithers, so good for her. She works her butt off. She's amazing, and we're so glad we got her. She's ours now, so don't even try. Thank you.
So we've worked our way towards the end of the awards. Each year, the NCRA inducts someone into our Radio Legends Hall of Fame. It's a special award given to those who play an instrumental role in supporting campus, community, and Indigenous nonprofit radio all across the country, across the entire spectrum. So it's not just tied to one station or one group. Previous award winners include John Harris Stevens, who was inducted in 2019 for his work in the Broadcasting Act in the early 2000s and beyond. Gunarji O'Sullivan and her work around resonating reconciliation and Indigenous programming was inducted in 2018. And other legends you probably know quite well, like Frida Warden of Wings and Freya Zaltz, our regulatory affairs advisor, who is really the reason why there's so many community radio stations that operate in Canada. So Freya's probably watching. Give a wave to her. This year's inductee was not able to make it today and unfortunately is no longer with us. We will send it to CKUT and CJLO in Montreal to present our Radio Legend Award.
The CRABO winner for Community Radio Legend, CKUT, the late Joni Sandler.
My name is Louise Burns. I'm from CKUT in Montreal.
And I'm Omar Hussain, and I'm from CJLO in Montreal.
And we're super honored to accept the award for wonderful Joni Sandler, who sadly is not with us. A year ago, May 30th, actually. So a big shock to her friends and family and the music community, which we are still fractured by. But I mean, at the same time, her brief but 100% full-on embracing of the local scene and of community radio is something that still echoes in all of our experiences. She was music coordinator at CKUT for 5 years, and she was one of those people who was always smiling, always extremely welcoming and polite in a sometimes very intimidating environment called Campus Community Radio. She was the person who, if you went to any of the finer concerts in Montreal, she probably was working the door. She was a giver. She was involved in a very kind of chaotic, diverse, not traditionally organized radio station. And she was punctual, she was well-researched, and she was not condescending. She was able to sort of become, to demonstrate a professionalism within a very improvised and kind of scraggly organization.
She was definitely one of the most dependable people I knew.
Yeah, the worst thing you could do to Joni is arrive late. That was a joke he said. From CKUT, she went on to Constellation Records as well. She was in an independent band that I called Lungbutter as a drummer. From what I understand from her parents, she was in the back seat of a van as they went to summer vacations and played music on the radio. And as a little girl, she would be pounding the drums in the back seat to all the different songs. And clearly, I think that her passion for music is what led her to many different adventures.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing that I always think about Joni with regards to community radio and the music scene in general is that if you were affiliated with community radio or independent music or DIY music scenes, you either knew Joni or you knew someone who knew her. Everybody had some sort of connection to Joni. And as someone who didn't work directly with Joni at a station, I think it says something that so many stations across Canada and North America, I feel like a lot of people in Canada don't realize across North America, so many people in the music industry and in the radio community mourn her loss. She was so well known and she was so well loved. She had such deep roots in community radio. She left such a strong influence and mark. I mean, we had volunteers at CJLO who knew of Joni and who started volunteering at the station just based on her influence, and who always looked up to her work, who looked up to who she was. And I wish we could have given her this award when she was still with us. But I feel like this is a perfect tribute to her tireless work and countless hours of dedication to this medium and to this community. I definitely want to thank Aaron at CHUO, Troy at CFUV, and of course Alex at CKUT for contributing words to the letter of recommendation that I sent on behalf of CJLO to nominate Joni for this award. And I think that is just a testament to so many people having that connection to her and feeling that this is just the perfect tribute to her. I mean, Joni was and will always remain to be a community radio legend, I feel.
And she was, not because of being a flamboyant or leader in the conventional sense, but because of being a solid supporter. I think everyone felt supported by her.
As a friend, she was the best kind of friend. It's something me and my wife talk about a lot. And Aaron had mentioned it to me too when we were talking about Joni was the kind of person who you could really talk to her and she was always listening to what you had to say. She was always interested in what you were doing. She was interested in whatever, if you were a musician, she was interested in whatever art you were producing. And she was just such a wonderful person and such a strong member of this community that I can't think of a better award or a better person to be the recipient of this award. So definitely thanks to the NCRA community and to everybody who has decided to give Joni this award. I think we all are incredibly touched, and I'm sure Joni would be, and I know her family as well. I've spoken to her family. They were incredibly touched too that she's receiving this award.
Joni Sadler forever.
Joni Sadler forever.
Hi, everyone. We are Doug and Kathy Sadler, Joni's parents. Please accept our sincere appreciation for your awarding of the 2022 NCRA Community Radio Legend Award to Joni. Thank you to Omar Hussein, CJLO, for nominating Joni and for his kind words. Also thanks to Alex Moscos, CKUT, Troy Lemberg, CFUV, and Aaron Flynn, CHUO, for sharing their memories and their wonderful words. From a young age, Joni displayed her love for music, demonstrating creative skills and a passion to help. She was gifted with a quiet determination, along with respect for the opinions and views of others. Her many friends and co-workers are a large part of this story, as together they focused on common visions and goals. Without these folks, she would not have been the Joni we are celebrating here. In closing, we are honored that Joni has received this award, as we know she valued being a part of the support and resources for community radio. Thank you.
So we'll be sharing the award with CJLO and CKUT as well. I think we have one more award.
Oh, sure. Hello again. I am delighted to present the CFRC Lifetime Achievement Award to Dave Cunningham. Dave walked in the door of CFRC into the basement in his second year at Queen's, quickly being scooped up as an announcer and a programmer. He proved himself to be a natural broadcaster. He got hired at CKWS from operator to host to program manager. In 1990, he left broadcasting to build his own business as a personal financial planner. But radio, especially CFRC, was in his blood. In 2015, he came back to the mothership as a CFRC volunteer, board chair, and morphed from broadcaster to podcaster. His broadcast, then podcast, The Kingstonian, features profiles of people who love what they do. What a brilliant idea for a program. With episodes downloaded 2,000 times in 12 months in 31 different countries. Dave remarked earlier today that his wife said it's really just a flight attendant going all around the world and downloading his program, but I'm sure that's not the case. Dave has also chaired the Activities Committee for CFRC's Centennial Committee. He has put his life into CFRC, and so for him, this man of radio, it is my honor to present Dave Cunningham with the CFRC Lifetime Achievement Award. Please welcome Dave Cunningham.
Okay. I'll take this. Okay.
In recognition of David Cunningham for his valuable contributions across 50 years of CFRC 101.9 FM.
Thank you very much, Sheila. It's particularly sweet to get this award presented by you. And Dinah, I want to thank you as well. If I may, just a quick comment echoing some of the remarks that we've heard here tonight. Like many others, I consider myself to be one of those broadcasters that from time to time has spent time behind the microphone of a commercial entity in our medium, and like many others, I feel some concern for the future of radio. If it was just the music, you can get that anywhere, but I think listeners are looking for true variety, serious talk, and cultural diversity presented, as Sheila alluded to earlier, on a local level. The future is in this room. And one more thing related to that, what's more important, I think anyway, is let's make sure everyone in our respective communities knows it. Thank you.
Some wonderful recognition for Joni Sadler, Dave Cunningham, some radio legends. Let's bring the band back out. Savannah Shea.
Hello, everybody. We're back. All right. This song is called Dust to Dusk. It's very hard to explain to people. It's hard to say, but we're going to do it anyway.
Ash to ash and dust to dust. The creatures of the dawn don't know what lies beyond the dusk. Night is dying with the light, and I open my eyes. Green today as the willow tree. They will fade to golden in our memories. Memories all fall to gray, and you go on and I go on, and then we go away. Love me we don't fight for it.
This is Liam Cole on the drums back here. Absolutely crushing it. This song is called She Is I Am. You can find it on Spotify or wherever you get your music. And it's about not comparing yourself to other people, because you are everything you need to be, just as you are.
She is delicate and benevolent, not to mention she is highly intelligent. When I listen to my heart, I don't sit well with it, 'cause I find I'm wishing these desires were more relevant. Just for the hell of it, one time it'd be nice to find feelings aligned with that of another. But it's fine, I've gotten good at peace of mind. She is, I am. She is, I am. Oh, she is, I am. She is, I am. She is your destiny, a perfect recipe. I'm not saying she is who I wanna be, but I can't pretend it isn't hard to see. My inner voice manifests so accurately, like when I tell myself that I'm no good for you, then the future proves that every word is true. Only logic gets the best of me. She is, I am. She is, I am. Oh, she is, I am. She is, I am. For the sake of love, I'd rather see you together, make each other happy, wear each other's sweaters, and don't mind me. My heart has never ever been cut so deep. My mama couldn't kiss it better. Sake of love, I'd rather see you together, make each other happy, wear each other's sweaters, and don't mind me. My heart has never ever been cut so deep. My mama couldn't kiss it better. Soft and warm, I warn you softly to ignore the sorts of words that start to harm you. Harness that heart, goddess of art.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you so much. I know you've been sitting for a while. We got a couple more songs for you, and yeah, this next one is called "Beautiful People." Yeah, it's just me trying to be really honest about how I feel about love sometimes. Sometimes I try to write very hopeful songs like the two you just heard, and sometimes I just write very truthful songs. But there's hope at the end. Yeah. How's everybody doing? You guys doing good? Yeah? Okay, cool. I feel you all here with me. I'm very honored and grateful and happy. Yeah, this is called Beautiful People.
Beautiful love is for beautiful people. They have each other, and I should be grateful, but it's always the same. I am bored by your lovers. She is softer than you. She'd be a good mother. Beautiful fear is for beautiful people. I lie here alone in the dark with my evil. The faster I run, the quicker I crumble. Hiding from what is inside me is wasted. All that I am is wide open spaces. Beautiful lives are for beautiful people. My carrion dreams lying under the steeple. It's been a cyclical prayer for an answer that's equal to the story I carved on the wall of my castle. I miss lying with you on the bench in the chapel. Beautiful bodies make beautiful people. I repeated it over until it was lethal, and better yet still, if it can be painful. I lie on the floor, crying out for a reason. They covered the ceilings with rebels and royals and burned all the pages between, 'cause they're boring, but beauty alone couldn't build a cathedral.
Thank you. This next tune is called Father's Garden. I had the opportunity to record it on this stage, which was pretty cool. You can find it on all the places. It's very new for me to perform to an audience of people who are mostly from out of town, so it's exciting. Thank you all for coming to us. It's easier, but I hope someday to also travel and see you all where you're from. Yeah, this is Father's Garden.
Careful where you let go.
Thank you. All right. We got one more for you. Thank you so much, Dinah, and everyone at CFRC for making this possible, and to Maggie and everyone at the Isabel. Thanks to Tom and Aaron and Jesse and Dylan for helping with sound. Tomorrow is my 10,000th day birthday. I will be 10,000 days old tomorrow. And I just wanted to tell you that. I thought it was kind of a fun fact. And I think if I did one thing every hour, an hour for every day, then I'd be an expert, right? Is that how it works? 10,000 hours? Yeah. All right. This song is called Creature. It's fun. You'll be on your way out after this, I think, so if you want to get up, you can. Yeah, this is Creature. Thank you so much.
If you've ever known a girl like me, then you might have the decency to tread carefully, 'cause I've been known to be volatile from time to time, from time to time. I'll ignore unwanted signs. They're far too intertwined. They're telling me to stay on the surface of my mind. The decline leaves me far behind. If you've ever known a girl of this kind, you've probably figured out that I don't like to waste my time or be confined. Don't rely on me to keep you satisfied. 'Cause I'm burning up, I'm spinning out, and every lover's left me blind. Well, I'm not gonna be the woman of your dreams, the creature of your soul. You better let me go. Oh, am I free or am I falling? Am I both? I just don't know. Is it misery or lechery that keeps on calling me to the darkness down below? Well, I've been known to run across rivers, lakes, and plains to get away from men like you. I'd cut my hair and change my clothes. I'd take a different name. I don't know what you did, but I'm far too weak to stay. Hey, 'cause I'm burning up, I'm spinning out, and you'll be gone within the day. I gotta go away. I'm not gonna be the woman of your dreams, the creature of your soul. You better let me. darkness down below. Oh, me to the darkness down below.
Thank you so much. Thank you, CFRC, and everybody. Yeah.
Savannah Shea. What a show. Let's, one more round of applause, by the way, for Sadaf Amini, please. Some great music. All right, Barry and Dinah.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate everyone for coming out tonight. As always, there are a whole bunch of people that put out a lot of money and financial contributions beyond time. So I really want to appreciate the City of Kingston. The trolley rides were a grant from them, so thanks to them. The reason why we have these artists playing and the session with KPP and everything else is Factor has put in some money to help us have that, along with the sessions that were saved, that were shared in the commitment earlier, or the conference earlier today. Obviously, CFRC has put together this as a big contribution, plus all the time and effort that you've put into setting up and all the work there. And I have to thank the Community Radio Fund of Canada as well, them bringing in money for us to be able to bring people to participate, to have food for you, to have people to talk to you and share their stories as well. So that's what we do. I guess I would like to just simply say thanks again, and we're now early June of 2022. That means that we'll be opening awards for 2023 in 6-7 months. So you've got a bit of time to polish up yours and submit as we head to Calgary next year. Dinah.
Thank you so much. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us here at Queen's University and in Kingston, helping us celebrate our 100th anniversary this year. It's a truly historic occasion for our sector. Maybe some of you will be reaching big milestones, and I look forward to visiting your stations too in the coming years. I'd like to personally thank Ms. Sheila Rogers for flying in to come spend some time with us, and just wow, thank you so much. What an extraordinary experience having you here again. I'd also like to thank our performing artists, local artists, fantastic artists whose music you can find on Bandcamp and Spotify. I encourage you to do so and encourage you to invite them to your cities too. That is Sadaf Amini as well as Savannah Shea. Certainly thanks to all of our conference panelists and presenters, the crew at Queen's Event Services, and of course the amazing crew behind the scenes, and right here behind us right now, the entire tech crew. Let's give them another round of applause. The acoustics, the lighting, everything in here, the visuals, it's just amazing work. We really appreciate our AV folks for sure. And of course, we'd like to thank you for coming all the way into Kingston, whether you're here in person and for the folks that are joining us virtually, and of course, those who are watching us right now on Facebook and YouTube for checking us out too. And I think we owe a big, huge round of applause to a couple of other people as well, and that would be, in particular, Luke Smith, Barry Rook, and Eloisa Valise, who really brought the whole thing together at various stages through the last year of planning, so it was a really great NCRC 40. So let's give them a round of applause, too. And so with that, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody next year at NCRC 41 in Calgary with our friends at CJSW. And thank you again for joining us. It's been a real pleasure connecting with all of you. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Now I'm going to bring it over to Alex. Thank you so much.
All right, just a little bit more housekeeping. Trolleys, we mentioned them. They will be taking you back to your beds, conveniently enough. They will be departing. They're supposed to leave at 10:15 or 10 and 10. They're going to leave. One's going to leave soon. One's going to leave about 15 minutes after that. There will be another trolley that will take you from Smith House to downtown if you're staying downtown. So that's how you're going to get home. That's the housekeeping. We're good. Big round of applause for your co-hosts, Barry and Dinah. Another round of applause for Sheila. Huge round of applause for you. I hope. Oh. It's a real pleasure to be part of this. Thank you for everything you do. I can tell you that our team, Barry's team, everybody here will continue to work hard to try and support the work you do for Canadians because it's really important. So, you're about to leave this wonderful experience. I wish you a safe travel back to your home fires, and I wish you all the best in the future year of broadcasting. Thank you.